Hare Krishna, all devotees, for coming. I know I can see devotees from Dallas. It's early morning there for you. I'm really grateful. For Melbourne, it's quite late in the night now. So, devotees from everywhere. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for coming. And I will briefly, as usual, share some Japa journal, what I write on Japa. And then we'll chant together because that will create the right kind of energy. Because I feel a lot of shelter when I chant with devotees. Like today morning, I chanted Japa with brahmacharis in the temple hall. So I found more shelter, more nourishment than chanting alone. So we'll chant together and experience the presence of Krishna in our lives. Ideally, I want to chant with you physically, but it's not possible. So online we are meeting. Thank you. So today's Japa journal is about absorbing the mind in Krishna. I want to share a few thoughts on this and then we'll chant. Hare Krishna. So, okay. Jiva Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami in his Bhakti Sandarbha has explained that he answers one very important question. Okay, I'll ask you that question and I want to know your answer. And then we'll see what Jiva Goswami says is his answer. What is the most important thing in Krishna consciousness? Or ISKCON. So you have come to ISKCON, you are practicing Bhakti Yoga. So like let's say you are walking on the street. You have a tilak and kantimala. And a reporter, a famous news channel reporter meets you. And he stops you and he says, oh, you are ISKCON, you are Hare Krishna. What is the most important thing in Krishna consciousness? He tells you, he asks you. What would you say? I will also say what Jiva Goswami says, but I want to know from you, if somebody asks you, if I ask you, what is the most important thing in Krishna consciousness? What would you say?
Somebody has replied, connection with Lord Krishna, Krishna consciousness, Harinam Japa.
Harinam Japa, love for Krishna, developing faith, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Wow, so many answers. Chanting, personal time with Krishna, service to Krishna, all these answers. Desire, yes, desire is also is what. Yes, chanting hard Krishna mantra. Association of devotees. Association with devotees. Yes, what is the most important thing? All of this is most important. I'm not denying that. But Jiva Goswami says the most important thing is absorption in Krishna. Or the mind, he says the mind should be totally absorbed in Krishna. That is the most important thing. See, to the extent we absorb our mind in Krishna, we'll see that if Krishna is like sun. Have you heard this famous quote? Absorption in Krishna. Yes, thank you, Shivam Prabhu, for putting it. So, when we say, have you heard this? Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andhakar. Jahan Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhikar. We compare Krishna with sun and illusion to darkness. So the light of Krishna, the sun of Krishna will illuminate in the heart only to the extent we absorb our mind in Krishna. See, right now there is darkness. See, there are two kinds of darkness. One is the darkness at night. So what do we do to remove that darkness? We light fire. That is light. But this fire does not remove the darkness in the heart. The darkness, basically when we say darkness, inner darkness, we mean confusion, lack of clarity, insecurity, suffering, fear, or what Krishna calls in the Gita, karshati, struggle. The constant struggle and anxiety that we go through is compared with darkness. Now, when the sun of Krishna arises in the heart, then all of this suffering will go away. Of course, the billion-dollar question that arises is, how can the sun of Krishna rise in our heart? How can we absorb because this Krishna arises when we absorb our mind totally in Krishna. So to understand how Krishna can arise or rise in our heart, we need to understand that this darkness in our heart is because we are living in separation from Krishna. We are actually separated from the Lord. In Sanskrit, this is called Bhinnadrik, means we are seeing ourselves as separate from Krishna. So because we never think of, we don't remember Krishna consciously. It's all about me. See, there are two ends. There's a spectrum. We are on this end. I consciousness. Only what I like, only what I want, only what I will enjoy, what makes me happy. So to the extent we are in this consciousness, to that extent the darkness envelops our consciousness. On the other end of the spectrum, we have gopis. I'm giving you two extreme examples. The gopis, they are not living separate from the Lord. They may be separated from the Lord in the sense they may be experiencing Vipralamba, but they are constantly with the Lord. Like the famous pastime, which exemplifies this, is when Krishna had a headache and Narad Muni went around asking everyone to give dust from their feet. And everyone was aghast. How can we give dust from our feet to Krishna? We'll go to hell. But when he approached the gopis immediately started scraping the dust from their feet and giving it to Narad Muni. Narad Muni said, are you not scared of going to hell? They said, if by going to hell forever, in exchange of that, if Krishna can be relieved of his headache for just one moment, we don't mind hell. That means they're on the other end of the spectrum. They're only thinking of Krishna's happiness. And we, on the other hand, may be in a situation where we are thinking only of my happiness, our happiness. So somewhere we have to start moving now. We have to come to this side. We have to start experiencing a connection with Krishna and coming to a stage where we can offer everything for Krishna's happiness. And that's when the sun rises. That's when Krishna rises in the heart. Now you'll say, okay, Prabhu, but this is too extreme. Like this is like too much. Gopi's situation, we cannot imitate. Fine. So what I'm suggesting today, which we will also practice now in our Japa, is, okay, we can't be like the gopis, fine. And we know that we shouldn't be like where we are now. So what we can do, we can, wherever we are, we can somehow connect that situation, that context to Krishna. Like for example, to give a silly example, let's say you buy a pair of shoes, or you buy a pen, or you buy something for yourself. Fine. Can we offer that to Krishna first? Krishna, this is for you. I think I mentioned this in the past. I had an experience with one Grahastha devotee. In a yatra, we were staying in the same room. And he had brought a laminated photograph of his altar at home. He has an altar at home. The deities and everything. So at home, he offers everything to the deities and the altar, like milk, food, everything. So in the room where we were staying in the hotel, in the yatra, in the table, he put an altar. And I thought, this is your house altar, house photograph. He said, yes. Wherever I am, I carry the photograph of my altar because I offer everything to Krishna. And just then, one Grahastha, another young boy, came to meet both of us. And he wanted to gift me, but he saw Prabhuji is also there. So he gave both of us a gift of a diary and a pen. He thought I write journals and all that. So he gave me, and he gave him also. So I immediately took it. I thanked him. We had nice exchanges, and this boy went away. And then I put my stuff in the bag. But what Prabhuji did spontaneously, the gift, he took it to the table, he put it in the altar, and he closed he offered his palms like this, and he offered prayers. And I saw that practically he did what he was telling me. Anything he gets, he first goes to his deities and he offers them. And I was very humbled because I saw that, not just that. He told me, I asked him, you offer everything, Prabhu? He said, yes. He says, when I buy a new shirt, I first get it to the altar, I put it on the altar. And even when he's sick and he has to take medicines, he offers medicines to Krishna. I said, Krishna doesn't need medicines. Krishna never falls sick. He said, I know that, but this gives me a chance to remember Krishna. It was so sweet, actually. This is how a devotee, that's what I'm saying, we have to be somewhere in the middle. Gopis are like always thinking of Krishna's pleasure. We are only thinking of our happiness. Why not come in between where, okay, it's my happiness, but can I remember Krishna? Can I connect with Krishna? I know it's too much to offer medicines to Krishna, but the idea is Krishna basically is taking permission. Krishna, I'm going to take this medicine so that I can serve you nicely. The method that our Guru Parampara suggests is that somehow add Krishna to your life. That is the whole idea. Like take permission from Krishna, thank Krishna, report to Krishna, spend time with Krishna. That's it. Is that difficult? See, we are on a very low level of Krishna consciousness because we are only thinking of ourselves and our life, our desires, my family. Okay, fine. can you connect all of that to Krishna? Ena kena prakarena manha Krishna niveshaya. Then one day we will move towards the gopis mood, that end of the spectrum, where we can offer everything to Krishna and Krishna's happiness is everything. Right now it's my happiness, but I'm saying somehow let us bring Krishna to the picture. Now, one of the reasons I also am presenting this is because we have seen that devotees have practiced Krishna consciousness for a long time, for many decades actually, and still they've experienced, and we'll discuss this after our Japa in greater detail. But I want to briefly mention this because this is connected to chanting also, that despite many years of practice of bhakti, there are devotees who have honestly confessed that they don't feel fulfilled in the relationship with Krishna. That means we are stuck at this low level where it's all about me. So we need to rise beyond. We may be offering what I may be offering what I have for Krishna, but if I'm not feeling fulfilled, that means it's time to offer Krishna not just what I want, but also what Krishna wants. Initially in bhakti, we enter with Krishna absent from our lives. That is level 0. Now we are all at the level where we want to offer everything to Krishna. Whatever we are doing, fine, we want to remember Krishna. If you're not feeling fulfilled despite this, then we have to rise to level 2, which is where we start contemplating Krishna. What does Krishna want from me? I'll repeat. What does Krishna want from me? What can I do to make Krishna happy? I know this sounds a little artificial for some of us, but that only proves that we don't consider Krishna as a person. Maybe we don't consider God as a person like you and me. But unless we ask this question, we can't break that. This is a code. Unless we crack this one, we can't experience deeper relationships or deeper spiritual experiences in Krishna consciousness. The question has to be asked sincerely. And the question is, what can I do to please Krishna? Or how can I make Krishna happy? Okay, the answer to this question is not important. That is a catch here. That is a plot twist, as they say. The answer to this question is not important. The question is all important. Did you get it? What is the question? Shivam, would you like to type it on the chat? See, sometimes devotees ask, Prabhu, how can I know, after my class, I've seen devotees give this class of making Krishna happy, they say, how can I know, Prabhu, what Krishna wants? And immediately we give the standard answer. Okay, follow authority, read books, chant Hare Krishna, but the answer can keep changing. Today I will say, if you ask me, what, Prabhu, I want to please Krishna. I'll say, okay, chant Hare Krishna. Tomorrow, if you ask me, I'll say, okay, distribute books. In this month of December, I'll say, distribute books. That will make Krishna happy. Or I'll say, okay, you raise funds for our temple, Janmashtami. That will make Krishna happy. See, if you keep going to authorities and asking what will make Krishna happy, please give me the answer to this, you can get frustrated at the end of the day because, there is this 4 defects of conditioned souls that comes between you and Krishna's happiness. Because this conditioned souls have 4 defects. So if I tell you what will make Krishna happy, then somewhere you may not feel totally complete because, because you may have some issues with me. It's not easy to know what will make Krishna happy through some devotee. Ultimately, you need to discover that answer. But again, as I'm repeating, the question is all important. The answer is not important. If we can ask this question with sincerity and intensity, that question, what will make Krishna happy? This question becomes the answer to all questions. The question is the answer. I know I didn't want to play around with words, but how can I make Krishna happy? What will please Krishna? What is Krishna's happiness? That, when we ask this question, the mind gets absorbed in Krishna. That's when the sun of Krishna rises in the heart. All darkness goes and we find Krishna consciousness a fulfilling experience. I know some of you will say, we can know what will make Krishna happy if we follow Guru's instructions. Well, that is secondary. First, we need to ask that question, what will make Krishna happy? See, following the answers or asking the questions will not help. I've seen devotees give lecture on this topic. to make Krishna happy? Immediately somebody in the audience will ask, how can I hear Krishna's voice? How can I know what will make Krishna happy? And the speaker also trusts the audience and he says, whatever inspires him at the present moment, he will say, this will make Krishna happy. But I see that the person in the audience is not fulfilled. He still hasn't found the answer. He'll ask the same question next year. What next year? He'll ask the same question in the next class. Because that's not your answer. The speaker has spoken that. But if you want to know what will make Krishna happy, you need to have this question. I'll reassure you, you will never find the answer to what will make Krishna happy unless Krishna reveals to you. And Krishna will reveal that answer only when he wants. There is something more important than knowing what will please Krishna, and that is to ask the question, what will please Krishna? Basically, I'm talking about aspiration, the eagerness and sincerity to love Krishna, to please Krishna. And this sincerity is expressed through a question. And this question is the very answer to the question. Okay, I will not play around with words more. Let us chant now for 15 minutes. It's around 4:50 in my watch, 4:50 p.m. So till maybe 5, 10, 20 minutes can we chant today? So 5, 10, we will stop. And we are going to do 3 things in this chanting. As we are chanting, generally we focus on techniques like listening and pronunciation and all of that. Today we'll do it a little differently. Today as we are chanting in the mind, we'll keep asking Krishna, what will make you happy? If you find it artificial, then we'll chant in the mood that Krishna, okay, if I'm finding it artificial to say what will make Krishna happy, let me chant in the mood, okay, Krishna, this is going to make me happy, but I want to offer this to you for your pleasure. I want your permission to experience this in my life. So whatever you need, you offer that to Krishna. Ideal is meditate on Krishna's happiness. Second, offer everything to Krishna. If that also is difficult, then at least express gratitude for all the gifts we have got, like your family, your home, your job, your children. So like that. So Krishna's pleasure. Second, offering everything to Krishna, or expressing gratitude. So these 3 moods, let us imbibe or let us cultivate as we're going to chant now for the next 20 minutes. Thank you very much. Till 5:10 p.m. we'll chant. That's the next 20 minutes in my watch. Okay, is that okay, everybody? Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki Jai.